So, if you look at the reaction coordinate diagram, we can actually see this particular reaction is non-selective, because we have a very small difference between the energy gap between the transition states for the primary and the tertiary product. So, since the energy difference is very small, what happens is like both the reactions occur very effectively or very fast. So, that is the reason the tertiary product and the primary product are formed exclusively in the case of chlorination. But if you look at the bromination, the energy gap here is little bit higher. So, as per the transition energy state, for this particular transition energy, the activation energy is going to be less. In other words, more number of compounds can be reaching this particular hill very effectively compared to the higher one for the primary case. In other words, the rate of formation of the tertiary radical is very fast and the primary radical is very slow. That is the reason, due to the height difference, that means the energy gap, energy of activation difference, the tertiary is formed very in large quantities, and that leads to the major product, that is the tertiary product is formed in the case of bromination reaction. So, we can say in the case of chlorination, the energy gap is small. So, both products are formed. In the case of bromination, the energy gap is large. So, the lower one is the one which is formed in large quantities. In other words, the selectivity for the tertiary product formation is very high in the case of bromination reaction. So, this is how we can actually combine all the facts, like the formation or the stability of the intermediate radical, primary versus secondary versus tertiary. This is one of the reason, and then the stability of the radicals, that is a halogen radical formation. This is also another reason there is a selectivity for the bromination reaction. And third, we can also talk about the energy difference between the different intermediates in the bromination and chlorination. So, these are all the reasons by which the bromination is highly selective and chlorination is less selective.